Hey guys, welcome back here to Intuitive Angling, and appreciate you guys joining me for today's video. Going to give you my first practice day report up here at Lake of the Ozarks. I've got the Ozark Division BFL coming up this Saturday, and I was able to get out on the water for about probably 5 hours today. Going to give you guys my report and what my plan is for the second day of practice. Today's, at the time of film this video, it's Wednesday. And tomorrow I won't be able to practice, but I'm going to come back up on Friday and probably get like 6 hours in on Friday to practice, and then our tournament Saturday. But I was going to give you guys a rundown of how the day went and what my plan is for Friday coming up here. I'm also, guys, just wanted to clue you in on one thing. One of the baits that I have caught, there's been 3 baits that I've caught a ton of fish on the past month here where I'm at, and one of them is this Mega Bass, the new 5-inch Magdraft here. Guys, this is a freaking killer. A lot of the bass have gotten conditioned to the bigger Magdrafts like the 6 and 8. They haven't to this little 5-inch junior model here. So if you guys want to get a bunch of good fish and get, you know, the thing that's cool about the little Magdraft is it catches numbers and size both. So I'll put this in my Tackle Warehouse link in the description of this video to the 5-inch Magdraft link if you guys would like to order a few. This is you know, a bunch of different good colors. I've been using this one. I've been using a bunch of different shad patterns, but Tackle Warehouse link in the description there. And also, guys, real quick, today is the last day on the spring sale on my Solar Bat Series RB2 and RB3 signatures here. You can get them at 30% off right now, guys, and you have free shipping and handling if you use the promo code RandyB. So I'll have that link in the description too if you guys would like to take advantage of that sale before it runs out here. Okay, guys, Lake of the Ozarks, conditions, it's a little bit different here. We normally take out of what's called public beach number 2, which is down the lake and about the mid-lake area, maybe a little bit more towards the lower end. But today, in this particular tournament, we're launching at the extreme upper end of the lake next to the Truman Dam, which is the first time I've ever fished a tournament launching out of there. So that's been a little bit different here. It's going to put the guys in a different part of the lake than normally fish, and they'll probably, you know, make some runs and all that type of deal. But anyway, we've had a lot of rain here in Missouri the last couple of weeks, and the lake is really muddy right now. The upper end of the lake, and you know, anywhere down from, you know, 20-25 miles down from the dam there, you've got probably about anywhere between 3 to 6 inches of visibility everywhere. A lot of trash in the water, a lot of current running through the water, everything's sort of getting flushed out. So that's always a challenge in the springtime when these fish are spawning like they are now. So today was a little bit tough. I did wind up catching, I caught 7 fish, 5 of them were keepers. Didn't have any big ones, but I had a couple decent ones, but I did get a limit, and it was a grind to get them. And I fished a lot of the same looking stuff. Like after I got bit, you know, and caught, you know, some of the keepers I caught, I ran a lot of that same type of water and just didn't get that many bites relative to that. I really felt, since the water temperature's in the mid 60s here and had a nice sunny day, that the fish should be biting a little bit better. But I imagine more than anything else it's because the lake's so dirty. I mean, visibility's low, it's turbid. Anytime you have fresh, dirty water coming into the lake, especially on this part of the lake that's normally dirty also, it doesn't ever help out. Now, if you get some dirty water coming into a cleaner water environment, that can actually activate those fish. But the water visibility up in this part of the lake is normally, you know, only about a foot anyway, in that sort of in that range. So when you already dirty water up, it's not real conducive to it, especially with the water temperature still being relatively cool in the 60s there. But I mixed it up with a lot of different stuff. You know, I threw, you know, moving baits, I threw slow baits, I caught fish on both. I just never really did get into an area that I felt there was a lot of active fish biting. So tomorrow I'm gonna try to probably make a little bit longer run, or on Friday, I'm going to try to fish a different part of the lake where I got some cleaner water. I really feel, in light of the stage the fish are in and the way the water is right now, there's a lot of water coming in there, I really feel like I need to be in some little bit cleaner water than I am right now. So I'm going to be looking for water visibility sort of in that, you know, something around about 2 foot. I just feel like I need to be sort of in that range there a little bit, about 2 foot of visibility for those fish to really be biting good. And that's my plan anyway. You just never know how that works. But Lake of the Ozarks, it's a little bit behind from a lot of the lakes in Missouri here. Right now, Table Rock Lake, the water temperature is in the upper 60s, and it's in the low 60s right now at Lake of the Ozarks. So I imagine there's a lot of fish spawning here right now. And obviously, you know, when you have this dirty water, you can't really see it. But I don't know, man. It's like one of the things that I normally like to do when the water comes up like this high is I like to flip, you know, bank cover. Like, you know, a lot of times you'll have debris piles and stuff and, you know, floating sawdust moving in when you have a fast rise. But that stuff doesn't work very good if the water's dirty. It's like that floating matte sawdust stuff always works better if you got a little bit cleaner water, like about 2 foot or more visibility. They don't really have to be under those mats if the water's muddy like it is here. So, and another thing about that is there's a lot of that floating stuff around, so you can't really fish the bank where that floating stuff is at. And I fished enough of that floating stuff to know that, you know, there's not many fish in, or not. Didn't get any bites out of the floating stuff. I did catch one around it a little bit on a jig, but not anything, you know, through the mat itself. So anyway, I'm going to shift gears a little bit tomorrow. I'm going to probably put on some more traditional, you know, spawning type area lures a little bit more finesse stuff. I fished big power stuff today, and like I said, I caught some fish, but it's you know, the fish that I caught, you know, that's not going to even get me a check. I probably would have had about, I don't know, 11 pounds or so today, which, you know, normally it's going to take 12 or 13 pounds a day to get a check here. And this particular tournament, it's sort of different. I missed the last tournament. It's like I was invited to fish the Ultimate Match Fishing, Joe Thomas's Ultimate Match Fishing Challenge, which fell right on top of our last BFL tournament. So I missed the second tournament. So in order to qualify for that regional championship, I'm going to have 3 really strong tournaments in our last 3 tournaments. So I definitely need, you know, to be knocking on a top 20 or higher in the next 3 tournaments to qualify after missing that second tournament. So anyway, that's sort of the report, guys. I'll give you guys a report come Friday afternoon, and I appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll talk later.